My feet so fat I can't get into my roller skates. And my neckerchief don't fit anymore. Look at this. It's a stick-up. It don't work. I do this at a bank robbery, I look like a fool.
Hey, what is up, pups? Welcome to another episode of the Power Up Podcast. As you can see, if I gamed earlier and you saw me with a beer, now I don't have one anymore. Decided to clean up just a little bit, just because kind of need a restart, you know? But we are here. It is Monday. Happy Veterans Day to all of my veteran allies out there who have done what a lot of people cannot do, and that is to serve their country and to lay down their lives. So we appreciate you guys. God bless you and your family. But welcome. Hope you guys had a good day. It's Monday, the beginning of the week, but before you know it, it will be the weekend again. If you're new to the show and enjoy it, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications to get notified when I go live. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays is this show, and then we do some game streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then over the weekend, we'll try to fit in some gaming as well. So we got some articles here today that piqued my interest in the old pop culture field. We always take a look at what's happening news-wise, seeing what's good, what's bad, what's ugly, and we'll, give our 2 cents on the matter, if you will. So appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out with me. But we got a good chunk of articles that we can take a gander at. So let's hop on in. Well, bam. So this comes from Fandom Pulse. So more Alyssa Mercante garbage happening. So apparently, admitted child murderer Alyssa Mercante claims she's still pursuing legal action against YouTuber Smash JT. We actually had Smash JT on not too long ago. Good dude. Good little interview to get to know the guy. Hopefully we can get him more on the show later on. I know he was rather pressed for time, but glad we got a good chunk done in. And a lot of you that may not know, it's under the lawsuit currently because this weirdo chick who's now working for Rolling Stones, that was the thing. She used to work at Kotaku. She was either fired or she left. I think she was probably fired. And then in order to save face, and said, well, I wasn't fired. I left on my own. They all, people sometimes always do that when it comes to that, the insecurity. So the recent thing that's happening is that she responded to Smash JT again over stupid stuff, like always claiming that she's the victim when really she just doesn't need to respond to anything, but she has to because it's always about her, And recently, abortions were on the table, because that red wave happened a week or so ago, and it is beautiful. And I guess supposedly from what I saw, I think the House has stayed red as well. So we got that mass red tidal wave. So this comes from Fandom Pulse, and it looks like they've upgraded their site because I've noticed it hasn't been upgraded for a while. So Alyssa Mercante, a former senior editor at Kotaku, claims she is still pursuing legal actions against YouTuber Smash JT. Get out of here. So, no. So in a thread on X, oh my gosh, come on now. What's up, Manga? It's Greg, the cable guy. Yep, we did some shaving. I think I was like, my skin was getting sensitive. So I just decided to shave at least this area, because I used to rock this all the time before growing the beard. So we're just kind of starting fresh, applying whatever. Smooth that skin sort of thing. Because heaven forbid I can have at least one thing being a ginger, that one thing can kind of go my way. But it's not hair. Apparently it's not skin. I'm just cursed. What's up, dude? Hello. Anyway, so in a thread on X, Mercante wrote, Jeff Tarzia, that would be Smash JD, called me a baby killer for half an hour on his stream while seemingly wine drunk, but what's funnier was him repeatedly needing 30 plus seconds to cue up soundboard reactions to his jokes. Well, I mean, Mercante can't even tell jokes to begin with. So, I mean, she doesn't have any room to talk about, telling good jokes. We all have been drunk or tipsy or whatever. I saw a little bit of the show. I didn't stay all the way, but I popped in to give support when I needed. Soundboards are hilarious, but technical stuff, we always run into it. And but the main important thing is she bragged about getting abortions. So you are indeed a baby killer. So I don't, I mean, you can be salty about it all you want. That's what it is. You had no problem with it. In terms of saying that it was the baby's fault that apparently you can't keep your legs shut or whatever. And I will say, if it was in an actual abusive relationship, then no one should deal with that, But X to doubt. You look at that face and nothing but disingenuousness and super sus. She then admitted to being a baby killer. So we got the tweets down here. Love that a stranger has been making videos about me and saving every picture I post for 8 months because you don't shut your mouth. That's the thing. You bring all of this upon yourself because you are probably a legit grifter. Did she get fired from Kotaku? I'm not 100% sure. I like to think that she was fired, but her being the narcissist that she is, probably in her mental gymnastics said, I'm not fired, I quit, sort of thing. You know how people, in order to lessen the blow of being fired from a job that you really shouldn't be fired from because it shouldn't be that hard to play games and review them, sort of thing. But lo and behold, she pulled it. She pulled it off. And now she's working for Rolling Stones. A lot of people thought she would be working for Sweet Baby Inc., but she revealed that she is working for Rolling Stones. Not much of a change in terms of, magazines that no one gives a shit about. But according to this, so love that a stranger has been making videos about me, saving every picture I post for 8 months, thinks he knows why I chose to have an abortion, and that him and another man can and should talk about it for over an hour on a stream. These people are despicable. Well, first off, take a look in the mirror, and the projection from it is so radiant that you could shove a light bulb up your ass and literally be used as a projection. That's how much you're projecting. Because I was at that point, I believe, where I did hear her say, where Smash jokingly said, wouldn't that be amazing if I was able to get a hold of the supposed boyfriend of Alyssa Mercante and just hear his side of the story? That'd be hilarious. Of course, she took that personally. So finally, Mercante shared, and yes, I have to keep track of what he's doing because I am still pursuing legal actions. No, you don't. Shouldn't that be your lawyer's responsibility? Again, you wouldn't have to keep track if you didn't keep responding. If you just kept your mouth shut and kept your head to the grindstone, then this wouldn't be such a big deal. But again, she does what she's always been doing. Talking shit, unblocking people, responding, and then reblocking them quickly before anybody has a chance to respond. It's the same garbage she pulls. And again, she's the victim of everything. It is the most exhausting part of this process. Not discussing this anymore, though. He clearly had a breakdown over this yesterday, and the stuff that he said was horrible. Well, Smash is actually a married person, so he actually cares about children. You don't. Because you found them as an inconvenience and decided murder was the best way to get rid of said inconvenience. So there is the tweets. This is not the first time Mercante has admitted to murdering her children. Back in September 2021, she wrote, I got pregnant at 25 by my then husband. I had an abortion. I left the relationship 4 years later because it was toxic and abusive. Imagine if I had kept the kid. Get the fuck out of here. So lots of questions then husband, so you were married, you had an abortion, so it sounded like you didn't want to have kids, so then literally don't have sex. Problem solved. Or condom, or the pill. Apparently, it sounded like you took none of those. As far as I'm concerned, 3 strikes and you're out. You know, like you have all these options that you could do, but you felt the need that, killing that kid what is the greatest choice that you should ever have, And then it stems down to the whole my body, my choice sort of thing. Well, I mean, DNA says otherwise. If anything, you're just a leech. That baby's leeching off of you, and it's its own person. If I want to be harsh about it. So I left that relationship 4 years later. So if you knew it was because it was toxic and abusive, so this makes no sense. So if you knew that it was this terrible relationship, why did you wait 4 years to leave? Just leave. See, I don't get this because they always say like, oh, no one ever believes women and all that stuff. You go to the police. Who do they arrest first whenever it's domestic violence or whatever? The guy. So imagine if I had kept a kid. So what? That doesn't excuse you to murder someone. That does, like, your poor choice does not mean that child should not live. As far as I'm concerned, that kid should live, and you should love the shit out of that kid. But no, you chose not to. Good thing the Lord takes care of this too. But yeah. It'll be interesting to hear your excuse on Judgment Day. In May 2022, she then admitted to killing a second child. She wrote, I just had an abortion last month. Fuck all of you ancient ass men. Fuck you straight in the fucking sea. Again, why is this difficult to keep your legs shut? Use a condom. Take the pill. Like, again, you have all these options. All your bases, all your bases, the ability to cover all your bases are out there. It still baffles me that people are like, well, I need that fourth thing to, kill that kid. It's like, well, I mean, you had a bunch of other options. You chose not to. All right. So she previously sent a cease and desist letter to Smash JT claiming he was defaming and harassing her. And then lawyer Ron Coleman, who is representing Smash JT, responded to Mercante's cease and desist writing, we will not rebut your assertions point by point. None of the statements you attribute to Mr. Arzia in Section 1 of your letter is defamatory under New York or California law because they are either true or are protected opinion and polemic. Additionally, your speculation as to what Mr. Tarzia knew, what motivated any comments he may have made, and the financial operation of Mr. Tarzia's social media are incorrect and baseless. What a mess. It is. It is a mess. It's quite disgusting. Continue. For these reasons and many others, your assertion that Mr. Mercante, or Miss Mercante, well, she might as well be Mr. Mercante because enough said right there. Would prevail if, quote, this matter was taken to court is not only unfounded, but is transparently an empty threat. In fact, as you are doubtless aware, if these claims were litigated in either New York or California, they would not only be dismissed, but it is your client who would be exposed to potential liability under the anti-SLAPP laws in both states. The harassment claims described in Section 2 of your letter are just as meritless, a daisy chain of fallacious reasoning, both legal and factual, undergirded by yet more speculation about Mr. Tarzia's mindset and activities, and an overblown depiction of the centrality of your client to his work. Smash JT bears no responsibility, moreover, for any harm your client may have suffered as a result of Kiwi Farms. Your client's ire and her lawyer's condescending letters should be directed to that entity, not to Mr. Tarzia, he instructed. So there's good old Ron. He then declared your demands and some are rejected. There will be no apologies or retractions to Mr. Tarzia, to your client. There will also be no further personal, ethical, or career advice, much less veiled references to our client's family, which are not well taken, for your office to Mr. Tarzia. All further correspondence or communications concerning the matter are to be addressed to me. And then, of course, she responded, I was hoping that Jeff Tarzia would take my letter as an opportunity to be more mature. You are the least mature person in this entire thing, Alyssa. You literally wanted to fight Melanie or other people. Vera Dark stepped up. You pussied out while in the same breath calling everyone else a pussy. Multiple people said, yeah, let's go. Let's fight. You chose not to because you wanted to be in control of everything. And then you recently wanted to, again, fight Melanie like the beta bitch you are. So, again, a very disingenuous tweet she posted claiming that it should be Jeff who should have been more mature about this whole situation, coming from the person to, again, throw down fisticuffs against whoever. Please do not direct anything hateful or harassing towards him, and do not reach out to him in any capacity. Yeah, and you've literally do not listen to your own advice at all, because you literally harassed him by like calling him a drunk and stuff earlier up. So again, you are okay. I just scrolled down and all I'm seeing is a pope here apparently. Oh my goodness gracious. But anyway, disingenuous comments. Don't contact, blah, 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 blah. Smash JT responded to Mercante's claims that she was still pursuing legal writing on X. How's that lawsuit coming along, Alyssa? Ron Coleman and I are interested to hear more about your constant empty threats. He added, also, yeah, you are a baby killer, a self-admitted one. You most certainly are not the victim here. You can stop playing that card. Your two unborn kids that you didn't want to have, on the other hand, while you tried to dish parenting advice to me, again, kindly go fuck yourself. Which, he said it perfectly. Yes. As noted by the Catechism of the Catholic Church, since the 1st century, the Church has affirmed that moral evil of every procured abortion. This teaching has not changed and remains unchangeable. Direct abortion, that is to say, abortion either willed, either as an end or a means, is gravely contrary to the moral law. You shall not kill the embryo by abortion, and shall not cause the newborn to perish. God, the life of life, the Lord of life, excuse me. But he is also, I guess you could say, the life of life, because he did breathe life into people, as stated in Genesis, where he breathed the spirit into the nose of Adam. And in the Hebrew, it was like a vibrating wind, and that's what caused the spirit, the body, and the soul to combine together to make us, that is, humans. And by accepting Jesus Christ, unlocks a technology that allows us to be saved and to be receive eternal salvation and be that like the angels in heaven. Gotta watch that interview you did with Smash JT. I missed it live. It's all good. Should be up there still. All right, well, now we're just quoting Catholic Church there. So there you go. That's what's happening with Smash JT and Alyssa here. So absolutely incredible, as I'm yawning over here. So if Ubisoft apparently is sucking, this is absolutely amazing, as apparently they are now being sued for making the crew unplayable. God's technology is awesome. I know, it's absolutely amazing. Almost like he knew how everything happened. That would be omnipotent and omnipresence. So servers for the online-only game were closed in April. So in December of 2023, the publisher quietly delisted the crew from digital storefronts and confirmed that the online-only game would no longer be playable beginning this April. After almost a decade of support, we will be decommissioning the Crew 1 on March 31st, 2024. It said at the time, we understand this may be disappointing for players still enjoying the game, but it is necessary due to upcoming server infrastructure and licensing constraints. Now, as spotted by Polygon, 2 impacted players have launched a proposed class action lawsuit against Ubisoft of violating California consumer protection law. I love that it's California too. They claim it duped customers by telling them they were buying a game when in fact all they were renting was a limited license to access a game that defendants chose to maintain at their own noblesse oblige. Okay. Plaintiffs also claimed the product's packaging falsely represented that the Crew itself was encoded onto physical discs consumers could buy, or the digital files consumers could pay to download, when in fact, the physical discs and downloaded files consumers paid for were more akin to a key they could use to open the gates of this remote server, which defendants could one day decide to fail to maintain. Plaintiffs want the court to approve the lawsuit as a class action and are seeking monetary relief and damages for affected players. Suit also notes that Ubisoft previously shut down online servers for old games while preserving their offline features, as was the case for Assassin's Creed 2 and 3. So, in response to a fan backlash, in September they announced plans to launch offline modes for the Crew 2 and the Crew Motorfest. We want to acknowledge that some of you voiced concern about the access to the Crew games, said Stephanie Belli, Senior Creative Director of the franchise at Ivory Tower. Today, we want to express our commitment to the future of the Crew 2 and the Crew Motorfest. We are currently exploring different solutions and can confirm an offline mode to ensure long-term access to both titles, except they are talking about the Crew 1, not the Crew 2 and the Crew Motorfest. So, dear Lord, if this lawsuit goes through, that's just another loss for Ubisoft, which I would be so happy to see, because they need to rot and burn forever. Because they've pretty much taken that mantle of being the company that wants to fail and piss off the gamers enough. So hopefully, they crash and burn, they foreclose, people lose all their hard work and effort to making bastardized games. It all gets pissed away at this point. Because I don't feel sorry in the slightest. So, jumping over into bounding into comics. In a blow to retro video game access, Sega to delist dozens of classic titles from virtual storefronts, including Crazy Taxi, Nights into Dream, and Jet Set Radio. So, I saw this, and I think I actually responded to bounding into comics link on X. Just emulate this stuff. Just emulate it. At this point, this is how you're going to get the game that the creators originally wanted. At least at that time. Like, even back then, there shouldn't have been any censorship. But back then, at least you got as much as what the creators originally wanted as possible. You're probably not going to get that nowadays. So emulation is really the only answer to all this. So in a devastating blow to players' ability to play retro games, Sega has announced that they will over 70 of their classic titles will soon be, okay, that's worded weird, that they will over 70 of their classic titles will soon be delisted from various virtual storefronts. So announced via November 6th, update to the company's official online support site, the eventual enforcement of this decision will see selected games and bundles will be delisted from virtual stores, becoming unavailable for new purchases. So this is set to commence on December 6th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The specific titles set to be delisted vary by platform. So Nintendo Switch, PlayStation players, 2010s, Sega Genesis Classics will be the only title rendered inaccessible. Meanwhile, Xbox players will lose access not only to the Classic Collection, but also Altered Beast. Easily can get it out there in the internet. Crazy Taxi, again, can get it. Golden Axe, Monster World, Nights into Dreams, Sega Bass Fishing, Shinobi, Sonic the Fighters, Streets of Rage, SVC, Toe Jam and Earl, and Virtua Fighter 2. However, the worst affected will be Steam players, as Sega is set to remove a total of Dude, holy crap. Dude, Nikola Pajic, you need to send this to someone to proofread this. Holy crap, that grammar was terrible. And this is coming from someone who sucks at grammar. Anyway, Sega is set to remove a total of 62 titles from Valve's digital storefront, including Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, Alien Soldier. Oh my gosh. Dude, what is this? I know that's another game. Again, no one proofread this before it was submitted. Holy crap. Anyway, Alien Storm, Altered Beast, Beyond Oasis, Biohazard Battle, Bonanza Brothers, Columns, and Columns 3. Oh, Comic Zone. I still need to play Comic Zone. I heard it's hard, but I still want to play it. Crackdown, Crazy Taxi, Decap Attack, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Dreamcast Collection Bundle, Dynamite Heady, Echo Jr., Echo the Dolphin, Echo the Tides of Time, East SWAT City Under Siege, Eternal Champions, Fatal Labyrinth, Flicky, Galaxy Force 2, Gain Ground, Golden Axe 1 through 3. Oh, Gunstar Heroes, that's a great game. And Jet Set Radio. Oh, wow, there's more. Kid Chameleon, Landstalker. A hard game, but fun. Like Crusader, Mega Drive and Genesis Classic Bundle, Nights into Dreams, Fantasy Star 2, 3, and 4. Restar, Sega Bash, Shadow Dancer, Shining Force 1 and 2, Shining in the Darkness, Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Pinball, Space Channel 5 Part 2, Space Harrier 2, Streets of Rage 1 through 3, Super Thunder Blade, Sword of Vermilion, The Revenge of Shinobi, Toe Jam and Earl Panic on Funkanton, Vector Man 1 and 2, Virtua Fighter 2, Wonder Boy Monster World, and Wonder Boy 3 Monster Lair. Luckily, not everything is bleak. Excuse me. Luckily, not everything is bleak, as Sega's website promises that while the games will become unavailable for new purchases, all Sega Classic games and bundles you own will remain in your library, ready to be downloaded and played at any time. That doesn't mean anything. What if people don't have them and they want to then get them? This is why you go physical. And this is why the retro bubble needs to pop. So that we can realize that these retro games aren't worth as much as what people make them out to be, so that it can at least come back and maybe give people rekindle the hobby. Like, some people can collect it, but you got to have some nice bank already under your belt if you want to go start collecting stuff. Moreover, those with Nintendo Switch Online subscription will still be able to play select individual classic titles through the services, including Virtual Console. So they haven't provided a specific reason behind their mass delisting. However, speculation suggests a few possible explanations. I'm going to guess licensing issues, specifically music. The first is the fact that certain series like Crazy Taxi, Golden Axe, Shinobi Streets of Rage, and Virtua Fighter are on the track to receive new entries in the relatively near future. As such, it's possible that a misguided Sega may want to clean up their digital offerings in order to avoid confusion between the old and the new games. That sounds stupid. You literally just need to do your research, and you can find out which one is which. Furthermore, there's also a chance that Sega may be preparing a new collection of these games and want new players to be presented with that as the main option to play their classics instead of individual releases or the decade-and-a-half-old Sega Classic collection. That one I can see it being more of the answer, but again, it's just a repackaging. And how good will the ports be? Nintendo hasn't done a good job on certain ports. You go to the video game museum and you play Nintendo games and they're using an emulator. Ultimately, whatever the reason, retro fans should be sure to get their hands on these iconic titles before they're gone. Oh, you can easily get your hands on them. No problem. But still, interesting that they haven't announced the reason why. But I guess we'll see what happens. This I found absolutely hilarious from Tech for Gamers. Star Wars Outlaws nominated for Best Game Soundtrack at Grammy. Bullshit. While Ubisoft was really ambitious with Star Wars Outlaws, things went wrong. The title was plagued with many issues, such as terrible enemy AI, which caused it to become Ubisoft's massive failure. And the bastardizing of it, but we've gone down that rabbit hole many times. Yet there is still good news for the game's developers, as the Star Wars Outlaws was nominated for Best Soundtrack for Video Game at the Grammy. Why it matters? It doesn't. Star Wars Outlaws music composition was one of the game's positive aspects. It has been highly criticized, but received 2 nominations at the Golden Joystick Awards. Well, that Golden Joystick Awards can be completely ignored because they suck. Now it has been nominated for the Best Soundtrack Award. Although Star Wars Outlaws is an interesting conclusion, the other games include the nominees are God of War, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, Spider-Man, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and Wizardry. I only know 2 of those. It's worth noting that Bear McCreary, God of War, is a regular nominee at this point because his name has been thrown into the pot during every Grammy Award ceremony where this category has existed. Wilbert Rajet II composed the Star Wars Outlaws soundtrack, which featured additional music by Kazuma Jinoichi and John Everest. Nevertheless, Star Wars Outlaws was also nominated for 2 Golden Joystick Awards. Why? It was garbage, which included Best Lead Performance. How? And Best Audio Design. Oh my gosh. They are desperately trying to say that, no, it wasn't a massive failure. Like, this is why you don't take these awards ceremonies. Like, they don't care about the game. They don't care about gaming. They don't care about good games. They don't care about actually listening to people. It's just being used for a circle jerk or to try to save face for failed games. And Star Wars apparently is one of them. The awards describe the game's impressive performance in the music domain. How? No one played... This doesn't make any sense. Like, so many people... Like, it didn't sell well. So how can you know if it had best audio design, like, when a lot of people didn't play it? That's not to say you can't, like, obviously find, like, playthroughs and stuff, but... Oh, my goodness. Yeah, the game sucked everything else, but it was, like, really good at best lead performance and best audio. It's like, no, shut the fuck up. Like, everything about it failed. Are you excited about Star Wars Outlaws getting recognition for its music? No, because it's retarded. Literally trying to save face for a massive failure. And it's a good thing it's from Ubisoft, too, because they're also working with the backlash with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Frickin' unbelievable. Also from Tech for Gamers, the PS5 Pro scalping backfires. Scalpers forced to sell consoles below the MSRP. Following much testing, the PS5 Pro has been pushed to its limits in games like Hogwarts Legacy, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, and more. While games like Horizon Forbidden West have shown spectacular results, others have left much to be desired. These mixed results mean that fans are in no rush to buy the PS5 Pro. PlayStation also appears to plan to avoid repeating the scalping problem from 2020, leading to scalpers taking losses on their existing stock. Scalping plagued the PS5 and Xbox Series SX for multiple years after their 2020 release. Nvidia's graphics card suffered from similar problems in 2020. Over on eBay, multiple listings shows that the PS5 Pro being sold for less than its 7,000 MSRP pounds. I think that's pounds. Looking at the list, price range from $600 to $690, marking a considerable discount for a brand new piece of hardware. One seller has even asked for bids, with the $550 offers highlighting the current situation around the PS5 Pro's demands. Scalpers have clearly found themselves backed into a corner. Many were likely betting on the launch buzz to sell units at a profit, but the console is already quite easy for most people to buy. Interestingly, the disk drive attachment seems more susceptible to scalping since PlayStation has opted for a digital-only release. The current demand has driven up prices of the external disk drive, with many selling the accessory for nearly $200 or pounds or whatever. Yeah, that's retarded. At the time of writing, the PS5 Pro is still available to purchase directly from PlayStation and retailers like Amazon. This could also lead to further price cuts from the scalpers, so it may be worth watching out for a few of these listings to grab an early discount, or just wait for that Black Friday or Cyber Monday. So this caught my eye over on Niche Gamer. Piglet's Resident Evil style game goes viral on social media. Piglet. That's right, Winnie the Pooh's cowardly little friend turns out to be the star of his own absolutely unhinged horror game. Before you start rolling your eyes and thinking this is another cynical public domain character turns horror because it's subversive, this is an honest to goodness Disney licensed game. In fact, it's Piglet's big game from 2003. It all started when one user on X, formerly Twitter, noticed that the OST for the game contained some actually creepy ambience, not just some spooky Halloween music, but something that sounds like it belongs in Silent Hill or Resident Evil. This is making me lose my fucking mind. Okay. I mean, not terrible, I guess. When internet users decided to take a closer look, that's exactly what they got. Fixed camera angles, horror environments that look a bit too grim and bleak for a children's game, and to top it all off, sound design that ramps the dread up to 11. One user posted a scene where Piglet enters a room and you can hear the imposing heffalumps before you even see them. Their stomping and tooting is just a precursor to their bloated and corpulent bodies lumbering about after poor and innocent Piglet. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I mean, that is kind of creepy. There they are. Yeah, that is weirdly, that is interesting. I can't believe someone, like, decided to pick that up. Memes, man. They're insane. And then you got some other down here. Whoops. Didn't mean to exactly. That is actually insane. Children's games are no stranger to uncharacteristic levels of horror. Who can forget the piano from Super Mario 64? Or the piercing scream of Red Deads from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This is true. The Red Deads, or Re-Deads, they always gave me the willies. That's why you wanted to kill them as quick as possible. But in this case, it felt like the devs of Doki Denki Studios wanted to make a horror game, but they were handed the license to Winnie the Pooh instead. So there you go. Piglet's, what was it called? Piglet's Big Game for 2003. Dang. I am old. So coming from that park place, you guys might have seen this. Mattel apologizes for the wicked movie doll misprint that directed children to a graphic website. Yes, indeed. So the producer of Barbie, Hot Wheels, and WWE Toys for Children has apologized for an apparent misprint on the packaging for Mattel's Wicked movie dolls that directed children to a lewd entertainment website. That would be wicked.com. Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. The dolls shipped out to stores nationwide this week, appearing on shelves in big retailers like Target, Walmart, Sam's Club, and more. However, the packaging on the singing Alphaba and Glinda dolls, which features the likeness of Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, showcased a website for Wicked. That is not the film's official website. Rather, it's a site known for graphic lewd parodies of classic movies. So, there it is right there. So Mattel was made aware of a misprint on the packaging of the Mattel Wicked collection dolls, primarily sold in the U.S., of course, the U.S., which intended to direct consumers to the official wickedmovie.com landing page. The company said in a statement, "We deeply regret this unfortunate error and are taking immediate actions to remedy this. Parents are advised that this misprint incorrect website is not appropriate for children. Consumers who already have the product are advised to discard the product packaging or obscure the link and may contact Mattel customer service for further information." What other information? Like, give me a refund sort of thing? Like, just take a Sharpie and, like, draw it out if you already got one. So the Mattel Wicked movie dolls disappeared from retailers' shelves with website listing vanishing overnight after an apparent recall. Since then, the dolls in misprint packaging have popped up on auction sites like eBay. This fashion doll's initial retail of $24.99, and they are now up to, of course, $250 online through these third-party websites. Oh my gosh. The misprint could leave Mattel and possibly Universal Pictures vulnerable to lawsuits. Listing another company's trademark website on packaging could also constitute trademark infringement. Uh-oh. There has been no word yet on whether the mistaken site will be pursuing any legal actions. I doubt they will, honestly. To them, that's just exposure. Even though that's really for kids. That actually is quite terrible. Like, yeah. But, like, how do you make a mistake like that? How do you just make a mistake like that? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. So Wicked is an adaptation of the Broadway musical of the same name. It tells an origin story of the Wicked Witch of the West from the Wizard of Oz. In the story, the witch named Elphaba is a force for good all along, with the wizard being the primary antagonist, of course. The original music focuses on the antagonistic friendship between Elphaba and Glinda, the Good Witch of the North from the Wizard of Oz. The film, which releases Thanksgiving week on November 22nd, hasn't been without its share of controversy. Yeah, Oscar nominee Cynthia Erivo, who plays Elphaba in the film, stirred up a hornet's nest recently on the internet when she attacked fans over an edit of the movie's poster that brought it more in line with the original Broadway show iconic artwork. In the edited image, shadows obscure Erivo's eyes and her lipstick color changed. Yeah, she got ass mad about it, and it's so retarded. Saying, oh, you don't see me as a person. So the actress posted a wild tirade on social media in response. She called the edit the wildest, most offensive thing she'd ever seen. I've seen worse. She also claimed that the edit degraded and erased her. No, it doesn't. Erivo even said that she considered it worse than fans who made offensive AI images and asked her inappropriate questions about her character. Erivo attempted to walk back these comments recently, stating that she should have called her friends before posting her response. No, you knew exactly what you're doing, because this is how these people always respond. They always fire from the hip. They think from an emotional standpoint, and, that's it. And I've done my fair share of that, too. In fact, when I get super worked up, it's hard for me to not focus, because I get really, really, upset. But these people just fire from the hip. But nowhere in the statement did she express any regret for her actions, nor did she indicate that she might have been wrong in any way. Hopefully there won't be a lewd parody movie incoming. Oh, I guarantee you now that this happened, it probably will. Do you think this apology for the Mattel Wicked movie dolls is enough? Is it better than Cynthia Erivo's apology? No, they're just asking questions. Let us know what you think. I don't know. We're sorry that we were retarded and realized that we put it a lewd website when we should have known. Oh my goodness. Oh. We're kind of at our main. I had this open from that Park Place. Multiple inside sources support claims of abysmal Dragon Age, the Veilguard sale. Yeah, I've been hearing that it's not doing well at all. I think I have that open anyway. Yeah. The trade-in value is absolutely plummeting. I'll just see this. So more supposed sources from Endymion. Sales have reportedly been far below projection. This information was first reported by Endymion, citing an inside source close to the EA BioWare project. Total, I'm told is that Veilguard may have sold overall so far anyway in the 500th. I feel like I've read this before. Yeah, because I remember this 500,000 when they were shooting for 4 to 5 million. So I think we've read this already. It says it was in an article yesterday, but I feel like there's a similar one that we've read from the past. So one of the main ones that I saw is Nintendo, coming from Video Game Chronicle. Nintendo is suing a player who kept streaming pirated Switch games, taunting, "I can do this all day." So Jesse Keenan continued trying to make money off his streams, even after YouTube demonetized him. So Nintendo has filed a lawsuit against Jesse Keenan, who it says streams games on various online platforms under his username Every Game Guru. According to the company, Keenan is a recidivist pirate who has obtained and streamed Nintendo's leaked games on multiple occasions. Now, from what I've heard, like, he was able to, like, he got leaks and streamed it out before it was even released. Because a lot of people were saying, like, oh, they're coming after people who simply, like, use emulation, which that's in the gray area. Because if you own the game and you rip the game, Nintendo can go fuck themselves in how you play it because you own it.
Recidivist.
Recidivist. Okay, so that's that word. Recidivist. So the lawsuit alleges that since 2022, Kian has streamed at least 10 of Nintendo's leaked games before they were released. Oh, there you go. With more than 50 times in total. The most recent being Mario and Luigi Brothership. Although Nintendo says it has submitted dozens of takedown notices and platforms such as YouTube and Twitch have shut his channels down, it says Kian continues to unlawfully stream Nintendo's copyrighted works and thumb his nose at Nintendo and the law. It also claims that Kian taunted Nintendo, sending the company a letter boasting that he has 1,000 burner channels to stream from and can do this all day. Why would you do that? Like, why even taunt them? Because they apparently found, like, your real name. Kian is also accused of continuing to seek to profit off his unauthorized streaming of Nintendo's games by adding Cash App details to his streams after his channels were demonetized. On top of all the above, Kian is also accused of regularly posting links to ROM repositories, emulators, and the illegal obtained prod.keys, which are needed to make them run. By not only streaming leaked games, but also directly providing users links to circumvention software, Nintendo's proprietary cryptographic keys and pirated ROM repositories, defendant is giving his users everything they need to pirate as many games as they wish, Nintendo claims. Indeed, defendant recently boasted online that he wants to, quote, help anyone and everyone who wants to get Nintendo games for free and early, or who needs help installing and setting up Switch emulators that let you play Switch games for free. Listing 10 games, believes Kian has streamed in a pre-release pirated form on an emulator. Nintendo is seeking $150,000 damages with respect to each copyrighted works, given that it claims he has streamed these games more than 50 times in total. It is not currently clear whether it means $150,000 per game, $1.5 million, or per stream, $7.5 million. Damn. It also seeks $25,000 for each act of circumvention Kian made, which it says he did each time he loaded unauthorized copies of games into Ryujinx, Yuzu, or another emulator and streamed them, as well as $25,000 for each time he offered to help the public to play emulated games by providing links to emulators, ROMs, and crypto keys. Kian sounds dumb. Yeah, he definitely sounds dumb. Now, part of me, obviously, if you're leaking stuff ahead before even the release date, then yeah, you shouldn't do that. But we also know how garbage Nintendo is with emulators and game preservation and stuff, since they don't listen to people who ask for it. Or, like, you know, like ever since they went after Emu Paradise, you know, people just hate them for being a bunch of dicks. Because you have to ask yourself, are you really losing that much money, like in terms of pirated and stuff like that? And a lot of the studies showcase that really the companies who say they lose a lot of money, they really don't. And it's also been proven that people who usually pirate stuff go out and buy it later. But this guy specifically sounds like a retard. Will not lie. My question is how much, like, how many people are watching him, though? That's my thing. But in any case, Dragon Age the Veilguard is practically worthless. After only a week, trade-in value plummets. Coming from that Park Place, this is exactly what happened with The Last of Us Part 2 in terms of trade-in value. A lot of people always boasted like, oh, Last of Us Part 2 did so good on pre-orders and day one sales and stuff, but then they ignored the return and the trade-in value. So players are discovering that Dragon Age the Veilguard's trade-in value has plummeted only a week after release. The game is that bad. Looks like it. It's no secret that Dragon Age the Veilguard has been having a rough go of it since it launched on Halloween. Not only did the game fail to reach 90,000 concurrent players on Steam, but inside sources allege that the game had barely moved 500,000 copies and has seen refunds skyrocket on digital stores. Even the game Access Media, which helped lavish praise upon the BioWare RPG, has seemingly left it behind. I'm also told in terms of Refund, so again, coming from Endymion, I'm also told in terms of refunds that currently the game has had at least 30,000 refunds in the past few days. Ouch. He said in a recent video, citing sources close to the game, which is not good for your game that has barely sold 500,000 copies to be hemorrhaging players like this. So generally speaking, Veilguard is not a commercial success. And most of these refunds likely came from digital stores like Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation. These online platforms allow players to return a game for a full refund within 2 weeks of purchase as long as they have less than 2 hours of gameplay logged. It's a policy that lets players try a new game with no risk. If they don't like it, they can return it quickly, which apparently quite a few players did in this case. Unfortunately, for gamers who purchased physical copies of the title, it's a lot more difficult to return open games for a full cash refund. But typically, these players sell the game back to the retailer. They take a loss on the purchase, but it's not a total loss. For a new game that's barely a week old, you can typically get somewhere in the 30s or even 40s on a $60 or $70 game. However, after little more than a week in the hands of players, GameStop has listed the Dragon Age trade-in value at just $22. Oof. And I seem to recall that after a while, when it came to The Last of Us Part 2, they wouldn't even accept trade-ins anymore for The Last of Us because they had so many copies. As you can see in the above images, right there, 22, it's listed as being worth up to $22. That means you get 22, you need an utterly pristine copy. And depending on the condition of the game and the GameStop employee appraising it, players could see even less than that. Considering that a brand new copy of Veilguard is $69, the game has seen a devaluation of 31.88% in just 12 days. Oof. When you compare the value of Veilguard to other recent games, the situation BioWare and EA finds themselves is becoming clear. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdoms that came out in September 26 is worth up to $33. Sparking Zero, which hit stores a month ago, is up to $27.50 on PS5 and $33 on Xbox. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 came out just under a week before Veilguard on the October 26th, and it's 38.5 trade-in value. Veilguard's worth up to $22 matches Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, a game that came out a year and a half ago on May 12th, 2023. I still need to play Tears of the Kingdom. This GameStop valuation after just over a week in stores doesn't bode well for how Veilguard is performing, and yet Golden Joystick Awards is saying this sucker's Game of the Year worthy. New copies of the game were flying off shelves. GameStop would pay a higher rate for previous played copies. However, when a vast number of players attempt to trade a game in, the value plummets, as we're seeing here. Just how many players are trying to dump this game back on the retailers? One retailer who runs a store in a major shop center told that Park Place that among the 7 stores in that sale region, the exchange, trade-in, and gift card return rate for Veilguard was a whopping 75% of total sales. Are you surprised by Dragon Age the Veilguard trade-in value? Did you purchase the game? Nope. Have you tried to sell it back? Nope. Sound off in the comments and let us know. Well, there you go. All the more reason that the woke game journalists and all that garbage stuff out there were super trying to push this as being like amazing. groundbreaking game of the year, worthy. And here you go. More reasons to show that everyone's returning it. They only snagged it because they just wanted to see how bad it is. Alrighty. And with that, we're going to wrap up the stream here by seeing what games were released today from back in the day. Ooh, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, 25 years ago. Golden Sun, excellent game. Beyond Good and Evil, great game. Crash Nitro Kart. Ratchet and Clank, Going Commando, Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories. The PlayStation 3 in Japan was released 18 years ago. Resistance, Fall of Man, Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts, but I heard a lot of people hated that game. Mirror's Edge, which I played, was a good game. Didn't take off. They did like a reboot, and that still didn't take off. So, sucks to suck. Paper Mario Sticker Star, I have not played that one. I heard it wasn't really that good. Assassin's Creed Unity, Assassin's Creed Rogue. Halo, the Master Chief Collection. You got your Lego Batman. I think I saw Lego Harry Potter. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. PlayStation 5. Atari 50, the Anniversary Celebration. Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. Probably censored. Wow, a lot of solid games. Let's check out Moby Games. Ooh, Dragon Ball Z Idanari Songoku Densetsu for the TurboGrafx CD version. Oh, I didn't even know they had. Really? I played this game. I played the Super Nintendo version. Dude, The Lion King for Super Nintendo, United Kingdom. I like the Sega Genesis version better. The Great Circus Mystery starring Mickey and Minnie, apparently. Tenshu Shinobi Hyakusen in Japan. Heard the Tenshu series were good. I kind of want to play them. What else do we got? Oh, I remember seeing this Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. Probably didn't do so well. Halo 2, the Xbox version in Japan, was released. There you go. What else do we got? I mean, GameFAQs had a solid list. Solid. Call of Duty World at War, the Limited Collector's Edition, was released on the Windows in the US. Very nice. Dragon Age Origins in Hong Kong for the PS3. There's a good Dragon Age game for you. What else do we got? Yeah, I think we're winding down here. We got a good list. Yep. But there you guys go. That is all I have for you today. So if you enjoyed the show, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on notifications to get notified when I go live. So tomorrow we'll probably do more gaming. Sparking Zero at this point, it's going to be a matter of just collecting the Dragon Balls and just buying the rest of the stuff. So I might grind offline, maybe just do an upload video of me unlocking it to showcase that I did everything. I did unfortunately see that until right now you can't get the Super Dragon Balls anymore. Like, the only way you could have gotten them if you ordered the pre-release date and all that stuff, and then play, like, story mode, which is what we did. And they didn't bother telling you that, once that's done, until they probably do, like, a season pass or something, that's it. So if you use the Super Dragon Balls to unlock a character, you're done goofed, apparently, which is what I did. So how was I supposed to know? Should have gotten them titles. So rip me in terms of unlocking that stuff. So we might go ahead and just now do Bayonetta. No. Oh. For a minute there, I thought Legal Mindset was playing Pokemon. Like he was. I know he said he was going to be game streaming, but we're going to raid him over on YouTube. Dude, you still can? How? Like, do you have to play? I thought I read that you have to play Tournament of Power, like online. Like, I've been farming like the World Tournament thing where you can get the Earth and Purunga. Namiki? What's Namiki? Namek Dragon Balls? Are they the same thing? I already did all the Purunga Dragon Balls. I just need to do the Earth Dragon Balls now. Whoops. If they're the same wishes, then yeah. Then we might have actually gotten everything. I guess we'll find out. I'll farm offline and see what's up and see if we can, like, if we've unlocked everything. But in any case, I'm dipping for tonight. We'll be on tomorrow. You guys have a good rest of your night. Take care. God bless. And until then, I'll catch you on the flip side. All right. Peace. You can get Broly Ring and titles from him. Yeah, I already snagged those. I did a stream earlier today. So, okay. Well, then I guess we got it then. I guess it was the same thing regardless. You just determine which ones you want. But I got the Broly Ring and the titles already. Cool. All right. Then you're good. Just buy everything else. Nice. Sweet. That would be me farming Goku Namek. And then, yeah. Alrighty. I'll sending you guys over to Legal Mindset. Say hi. But till then, God bless. Take care and peace.